Okay. I know you've read or heard about that game, movie, or comic, blah, blah, but you haven't heard it from us. So chill, relax, let us talk all about it before you log off.
You ready? You over there? You checking stocks? That's what's cool.
Doing any time minutes?
So
Is this any time?
Doing your
You on the
taxes?
NASDAQ? Is that what you're doing?
That's terrible.
Is it down? It's terrible.
It's always down.
All right, I guess we can start right now then. What's up, everybody? I'm Sir Aaron Carter, and you're listening to Before You Log Off, your one-stop shop for everything that's hot.
Is that where we're going with?
I'm
selling
testing things
things?
out. I'm testing things
We're
out.
selling you entertainment.
Adam C is here, of course.
Hello!
And back from hiatus. Steven Gutierrez,
this is-
everybody.
Where's that on a map?
This is dragged out
Hey,
so much.
what's up,
Hey,
everybody?
there he is.
I was going to see how long I can actually drag it all out just
That's
to see,
ridiculous.
but you know.
That's
Pretty impressive.
Good to have you back. Glad you are back, sir.
Glad to be back.
Now we have somebody to beat up on in arguments when we talk about Professor X.
Apparently, I heard you guys shit talking.
A little bit.
I heard you guys shit talking.
A little bit.
He does sit
it was
down for
funny,
long
though.
periods of time.
He
That's all.
definitely
For a
sits down.
long period.
Imagine the sores
Decades.
on those butt cheeks.
Decades at a time.
Actually,
The hemorrhoids.
I think that was a storyline. There may have been a storyline about him getting sores.
Was that
Bed
in
sores.
Professor X number
Is
12?
Devastating.
Actually, I think
The season finale?
He may be the only X-Men that I can think of that has not actually had his own series. I could be wrong. I probably am, but I'm going to go ahead and say it right here. So there you go.
So at him, at Vidac.
At him, yeah. If you like to.
Isn't him a band?
Terrible. So we
Sure.
again a lot of things going on. Actually, big stuff. People.
How many things?
Big, like all of three.
All the
Three
biggest of things.
Which is at least a whole episode.
Let's just dive. Let's just get right into
Let's
it.
dive on
As some people would say. Disney, everybody, small company, started in
You may have heard of it.
1972.
What are they famous for?
1972.
They actually announced today. If you are listening, later date today is Friday the
12th?
Yeah, there you go.
2019?
They announced their Disney Plus streaming service at a whopping $6.99 per month, which is redonkulous.
Which is awesome.
That is a large cup of Starbucks.
If you have Netflix, cancel it. If you have Hulu, keep it because it's still all under the umbrella anyway. What other streaming services are out there? Is that it?
Let me see. There's a Crunchyroll. There's
I said
there's
what other ones
Funimation.
are out there. Not.
I mean, I don't really count Amazon. Because,
Oh, yeah, that
Because
is-
I always forget about it. That's the only reason I don't
Funny
count
story.
it.
All the movies for our Bad Movie Monday night, all on Amazon.
You didn't find them on Crackle? Are you sure?
Crackle.
No.
We can get such gems as Joe Dirt 2.
Oh,
Yeah, because
God.
everybody's clamoring for the Joe Dirt too. So no, $6.99 per month streaming,
A steal.
coming out November 12th. Is that what it said?
Yep.
They have. Oh, let's get to the list because I don't know if you were around, Adam, when I was spouting this off to
I've been here
Steve.
since '89, Aaron.
Disney Plus will immediately include 18 of the 21 Pixar movies, most of the Marvel films,
basically
Captain
all.
Marvel Day 1, they already said, 30 seasons of The Simpsons,
All 30.
all 30, which is
30 seasons?
ridiculous.
I'm as old as Simpsons.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Disney movies in their back catalog like Bambi, Snow White, Lion King, etc.
Which was all 72, right? When Disney
Yes, all
came
in
out?
72. They just knocked them out.
All of them.
Lion King as
Well,
well,
they
which
include
they
all
stole.
the racist Mickey stuff from back in the day.
Ooh, that's
But
a
they
good
wanna,
question.
Did they want to black
Ooh.
all that out?
First of all,
Racist.
That was a double entendre.
First of all, they don't want to black anything. Okay, so let's get that right off the bat.
Gosh.
Plus, they have recent movies: Moana, Frozen, etc., etc. 5,000 episodes of Disney Channel shows. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
From old to new.
From old
Have
to
you
new.
seen the Disney stuff that they have on the hidden Netflix or the kids Netflix stuff?
If they have old episodes of Kids Incorporated,
Like Goofy?
It's probably on there.
then I want it.
Goofy?
5,000 episodes.
I used to watch Kids Incorporated as a child.
What's Kids Incorporated? I don't
It was just kind of like the Disney Clubhouse, or not Disney Clubhouse.
Oh, with Justin
the,
Timberlake and Britney Spears?
So it's kind of like that. Yes,
Mickey's
100% like
Mouse
that.
Club?
When I was a kid, Mickey Mouse
Mickey
Club.
Mouse
Thank
Club,
you,
yeah.
thank you. But it was, I don't know, different. like I don't know how to explain it.
Were there
I was a kid. I was
were
like
there darker
5.
teens, or were they all...
No, everybody was.
You used to watch that. That's why you're so...
Everybody
that's why your
was
credit score is so...
terrible. Terrible. So 5,000 episodes of Disney Channel shows, 100 Disney Channel original movies like Kim Possible. And,
you get out of here. First of all, I saw about Luck of the Irish.
How's it?
Luck of the Irish was good.
Is
Smart House
on there?
I never watched
what is
Smart.
it?
Wait, Smart House was with
With the kid from Luck of the Irish, he won the house.
Johnny
in
Tsunami. What's up, bro?
You're ridiculous.
Ooh, that's
Johnny Tsunami.
that's horrible.
How dare you? First of all, the guy who plays Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat movie is in that.
He's the
one.
grandfather, right?
So you guys go suck a
First
goose
off,
egg.
he's also doing the voice acting for Shang Tsung again.
Is he
Even
really?
better.
They brought him back, yeah.
Hell
So you're
yes.
getting those original movies like Xenon? I know you're
Oh
that
my
one.
God.
Yeah.
Is she
Look at you.
pregnant still?
Yeah.
I think that's Jamie Lynn
yeah,
Spears.
yeah.
And that's Nickelodeon, you dickbag.
Didn't she stop being Xenon because she got pregnant?
I don't think that's
That's- you're
not
thinking
Jamie
of-
Lynn Spears.
It's not. That's a totally different actress.
That's a totally different actress.
I didn't say Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah, but no, I don't think the actress.
I believe
from
other
Xenon-
women besides Jamie Lynn Spears
She's
have been
the only
pregnant.
one that can be pregnant.
She the surrogate mother for all pregnant.
She's always pregnant.
Of course, it says Smart House. You Lucky Dog. I don't know if you remember that one.
No.
Yeah,
What about Alley Cat Strike?
I don't even
Isn't
know
it
if
a
you're
game?
making that up or if you're.
You don't know what Alley Cat Strike is?
Good Lord,
Everyone
no.
stop thinking.
Stop the recording.
Stop
The last
breathing.
The last one that I recognize on the list is Up, Up, and Away. Do you remember that one?
Doesn't sound familiar.
With Kurt Russell?
Boom. Alley Cat Strike.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is. Even you showing me a picture.
He played on the basketball team and he
Is
would
that
like.
Alfonso Rivera? That's what it looks like.
Alfonso. No, it's the.
Nobody knows that.
What was
all right?
that? Get Carter? No, Get Carter. What's
I mean, no, excuse me. Did I say? I said
Oh,
Kurt Russell.
shit.
Excuse
the
me. Robert
basketball
Townsend.
movie? With Samuel L. Jackson.
With Samuel
Carter?
L. Jackson. Yeah, Coach Carter. Yeah.
Coach Carter. Sorry, Get Carter. Coach Carter. He was his son.
Cool.
And 2000 Alley Cat Strike. He was the bowling team and stuff. Yeah.
Is it the famous Jet Jackson?
Get Smart's okay.
Oh,
But
rest
Alley
in
Cat
peace.
Strike.
Up,
you
up,
listeners
Up,
know
Up,
what
and
I'm talking
Away is the one you should be watching with Robert Townsend with the black superhero family.
Oh, shit.
is that what it's
yeah.
called?
Yeah.
Where he didn't have any
okay.
powers?
And the,
I
this one
forgot
didn't
about
have
them.
powers,
And they were
yes.
like allergic to foil or some shit.
Tinfoil.
I
yes.
I just thought about that the other day. I swear to God, I saw tinfoil and I was like, oh, my only weakness.
That was the dumbest thing. When I saw they wrapped him up,
He like goes to eat it and stuff, and they're just like, oh my God,
wrapped him up,
you can't
and
stop
they
him.
could not move.
That's the
That was-
actress that plays.
That was so bad.
Okay.
It's not Jamie Lynn Spears, man.
I didn't say Jamie Lynn
Yeah,
Spears.
you
He did.
thought it.
I said, isn't she
All right.
still pregnant?
All right.
Hey.
Jamie Lynn Spears is not pregnant.
Professor X can
neither
walk, all right?
Neither is the Xenon girl. So anyway, $6.99 a month.
Is
You're getting all that stuff
Xenon
plus more because we didn't even talk about the shows that they
Pregnant.
that they announced, like the Mandalorian show.
Ooh.
For
I'm actually interested.
I'm
in
very
this.
actually. We didn't get to the Star Wars stuff yet, but I'm very excited for the Mandalorian thing because they haven't touched that at all in the.
And hopefully it's an actual Mandalorian and not
I don't
some
care.
stupid clone.
What'd you guys
that
fucking
serves
call him?
no fucking purpose.
What'd you guys call him? You pieces of shit.
Boba Fett? What do we call
you
it?
call them, oh god, Volva.
I know what it is.
The
Volva
Volva Fett,
Yeah.
sons of bitches.
But here's the problem. Like I said, I don't understand what the lore or what the attraction to the Mandalorian
Well, because
lore is.
You
Just the
never
armor.
hung out with Dominique Downs enough
it's
to play
just
the
the
greatest game
armor.
of our time, KOTOR.
I don't care.
And-
I could care less
And
about
really
that one.
experience the
I was literally about to
Mandalorian.
just be like Crash Bandicoot.
You're ridiculous.
I was
You
just
can
trying to think of a
also-
I
random
didn't say my
game.
sister.
Crash Bandicoot's good though.
You can circumvent the $6.99 per month and just go straight $70 a year if you want to. You'll save a little bit more money.
Which is what I might do.
So you're in. You're in.
Yeah, no, I'm in.
They've sold
I'm
you.
in this.
So
this.
do you have all the other things? Hulu, Netflix?
I do. I have Hulu and Netflix and then Amazon because it comes with my account. For
and then
free.
Amazon. And because I think I'm into only because it is $6.99.
Yeah.
She has Hulu and
She is in who? Who is?
Larissa has Hulu.
I mean, it's a podcast here.
Yeah.
They don't.
the
see-
woman of the house.
Okay.
So this picture that I'm pointing to right there.
She has Hulu and Amazon. I have Netflix and Crunchyroll.
So you got everything covered.
And well, I'm about to get on that. I'll probably get the
Disney.
Disney's.
Okay. All right.
See, I
Because
don't
I have all the Fox stuff.
have Crunchyroll.
I'm
I do
trying
have HBO Go though.
I was trying to figure out what Fox 20th Century is. 20th Century Fox, right?
20th Century Fox. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out
It's
what's
Jamie
all the
Fox.
properties that they own that's going to be on this service. Because we know the movies.
Any of them.
I remember when American Dad and everything came off of Netflix, and it was because of the merger and stuff, and they were pulling it all from there. So I want to say,
now mind you,
it's on Hulu.
Disney Plus is family friendly, so they're not going to put the movies and stuff on there. If anything, well, actually, I don't know, because are they going to have?
They might, dude. Because I know they want to go family friendly, but you just
Have
acquired
you seen all the innuendo from the Marvel movies?
So many
properties.
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
Why wouldn't you utilize that? And
They
then
can have the different,
like you just said, and was it that tweet? Bob Iger said that's their company's main focus right now.
Yeah.
Is going to be
focus,
this Disney Plus
They
program.
can section it off. I mean, it's not just like your kid goes through there and it's like, oh, Disney, and it's like, oh my god. And
Netflix has the little profiles for kids.
And most of
but
that
I mean,
kid stuff
same
was
thing.
Disney stuff.
But if they got, so they own Hulu,
That is
right?
true. That's gonna hurt them.
Wait, they own Hulu, right?
They own majority. What is it? Majority stock in Hulu.
Okay, so it's just not all there.
I think it's like 55% or something like that, which is
enough.
Which is enough.
Which
yeah.
I can see them doing something like, okay, if you guys want the more adult or PG-13 and up type of stuff, we'll put all that stuff that we own on Hulu.
And they'll still make money
What if
off of that.
they're not going to take the spin of, hey, add $7 onto Hulu to get this package of?
They could if they bundle it, like how they do the HBO Go and the Showtime. You can get those like premium.
Right, but for example, if you want to watch all your Disney stuff right now, where are you going to?
Well, right now
Disney
it's
Channel.
on Netflix or Disney Channel, exactly.
Got it. So
a lot of their stuff's there.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, and a lot of their Fox properties are on Hulu now.
So then when this happens, now I'm going to get a $7 addition to my Hulu payment or whatever for the stuff I already had included, pretty much.
Yeah?
It depends on what Disney decides to do, because if Disney just says, okay, you know what, Disney Plus is going to be strictly Disney properties, not including Fox stuff yet. We're still counting Fox separate, because they can just be like, okay, well then we're just going to shift the more adult Fox properties and things like that over to Hulu, because either way they're going to make money off of it.
Little known fact, Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods belonged to Fox. So now confirmed, Goku, Disney princess. Boom. There you go, everybody.
Oh yeah, we're full circle.
Yeah, that's how it. And then Dragon Ball Z F Resurrection is theirs too. Like that's
Who owns the anime rights though?
It says U.S. theatrical distribution with only Funimation, produced by Toei Company and Toei Animation.
So Toei, okay.
Yeah, but
so it's still their property,
but with Fox, like it's like a backdoor type of thing. I mean, it's not going to come to
there's
stuff.
A
bunch
bunch of stuff.
So we talked a little bit about some of the shows. Let's talk about more of the new ones that are going to be released. They actually went out and said that the at least 2 Marvel guaranteed with titles. So we have Vision or Wanda. Excuse me. What is it? Wanda and Vision. It's just not and. It's just WandaVision.
I don't like it.
Like it's gonna, and then you have
Scarlet Vision.
Wanda Sykes on here, or what's going on?
No, you have Scarlet Witch, of course, and Vision from Infinity War, which I'm guessing do they rebuild them, or the snap is undone, or something like that.
It's probably gonna be emo in this one.
It could be a prequel.
I don't want a prequel. I do not want a prequel.
It could be their weekend wherever the hell they were,
and
when
that's
he got
what
a
I don't
spear
want.
to the chest.
That's what I don't want.
It's just nonstop sexual tension.
That's terrible.
And exertion.
That's horrible.
They're doing a Ronin one. Is that correct?
No, they only announced the WandaVision. They announced
Kate Bishop. Was that what you're talking about?
Oh, you're talking about
Hawkeye's daughter?
Yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah. No, but it's going to be focused on Kate, his daughter. So that's what you're probably thinking. So, but the other one that they announced was Winter Soldier and Falcon. So it looks like they're doing these duo buddy, team up type of shows or whatever. I don't know if they're going to be full seasons of these type of things, or if they're going to do like one-shot movies. But
what happened in Budapest, Aaron?
I don't care. I do not care.
The people want to know.
You'll find out in the Black Widow movie.
They just said something about the Black Widow movie. What was that? They just they picked a director, or somebody got cast or something like that. I don't know, but I when I saw the news, I was just like, I could not care less. I'm sorry. Like, I don't.
You've been against since day one.
I have.
And it's called Black Widow, Aaron.
I will. What did I say? Oh, terrible. You racist.
That's two.
You
That's two.
racist.
That's two
You only
times
get-
you've been racist. 3 strikes, you're out, man.
Yeah, no, they added. Okay, here his name is O.T. Fagbenley.
You're racist now.
Probably should bleep that out. I can't pronounce his name.
You feel horrible saying that?
Yeah, like I can't pronounce this guy's name.
So
How do you
I feel-
pronounce that name?
I feel dirty.
Okay, it says Black Widow adds Handmaid's Tales OT.
I'm
Yeah,
not even-
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I
no,
thought.
No, that's a trap if I've ever seen
exactly. So anyway, they added another character. Whatever. I don't know who he's supposed to play in the actual show, but whatever. And then there's no real more information on the other 2 shows. They just gave you the names, who they're going to be. The original actors are going to reprise their roles.
I can't imagine there's much information on.
I don't know. Like, what does this
They're
mean?
planning decades ahead of time right now, so I mean, there's only so much they can.
You got to be able to give us a little bit more,
They're just
though.
trying to
Like,
put Ant-Man and try to
No,
inside of
they- no,
Thanos' butt right now. There's only so
They're
much they can
teasing
do.
you.
That's
That's what it
horrible.
is. They're getting you like, what else is coming? What else is coming? Asking questions so you're
They're
thinking
just-
about it.
They're just trying to get titles and dates out right now, and then do everything in terms of fill the spots, and then they have so much to do.
I need to see trailers. I need to see.
Yeah, Hawkeye's gonna
But
have.
see, your interest is peaked,
in
though,
the year
right?
20
so
and
you're gonna
25.
follow this.
Yeah, but how long can you keep that? To be
Exactly,
honest? It's
'cause
like,
They
November-
keep feeding you little tidbits.
if they tell me right now that 5 years from now they're going to come out with the next 3 Star Wars movies, I'm not going to be hyped every day for the next 5 years.
Well,
Like, you
good
gotta-
segue into the trailer for Star
Whoa!
Wars dropping
It's almost
today.
like you've seen that coming at him.
Exactly. He didn't because there's no
He
show
didn't. There is
notes.
no show
This
notes.
is all off the
Adam's
cuff.
seen that coming.
So the trailer is about 2 minutes long.
Get out. Get out. This is your apartment, but I'm kicking you out.
The trailer is about 2 minutes long, and they call it a teaser, which is odd to me.
Yeah.
It's a full-blown
just
trailer.
taste.
I went from 6 to midnight, so the
Just a
tease did
taste.
work.
They gave you a name, Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. So here, time out before everybody gets into that. A lot of people that I know were very happy. They were like, I'm so glad it's not a Skywalker story anymore. They moved away from Skywalkers.
Ooh.
This universe is so
Agreed.
bigger than
Gotcha,
Skywalker.
bitch.
Exactly. It truly is that. It's the biggest kick in the
Like
nuts
40 years of Skywalkers.
to
and this,
all of them. And you're one of them, right?
Yeah,
You're one of the. You were happy.
I saw it. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the name of the title, I was like, okay, cool. But at the same time, I was like, who the hell? Like, how many times have they said that Rey is not a
If
Skywalker?
you thought for a second that they were
Yo ass better
moved,
call somebody.
if they moved away from the Skywalker name in a Star Wars epic, then you're crazy.
You're a fool.
Like the side stories, yes.
But
Okay.
again-
Side stories, yes. The cartoons, yes. All that stuff. We can go all over the place, all over the galaxy. But for their main event, their WWE WrestleMania main event, they're going Skywalker.
So I haven't, obviously, I haven't read any
of the lore.
of the actual. No. I don't know what's gonna happen in the movie. But the
Oh,
only
yeah.
thing that would make sense. Who is the last Skywalker?
Plot twist right here. Finn.
Oh,
Yep,
shit.
right there.
So you think Leia and Lando got it on?
Why
you
can't
sick-
Luke get
Egg.
some booty?
Exactly. Luke found a nice brown woman in, I don't know, Tatooine or something like that.
Tatooine?
Whatever. I swear. I knew that one's coming too. I felt that
Well,
one.
Don't say it incorrectly. And that one
Say
I
it
correct.
anyway. He got some Tatooine
Well,
tail.
I bet he did.
And Finn was born.
That would I could see that because they totally went away from that in the second one, and was it with Ryan Johnson or whatever?
Oh no, keep going.
Well,
Okay.
because when you watch the first one, he holds a lightsaber, and it's like, wow, like okay, where are they gonna go with this? And then it all came about Rey, and it was like, okay, well, she's got to be a Skywalker. So in the third one, who is the last known Skywalker?
Okay.
Leia.
Too soon.
I'm just saying technically in the movie she's still alive.
I said last. Okay.
But is she a solo?
No, you don't just switch your bloodline
I don't
once you
know.
get
what's
married.
you're talking about bloodline. I thought you were talking about just last name.
There's
Yeah, well, yeah, of
obviously
course,
there's
yeah.
another one.
Oh, Ben?
Yes, the only in that if they stick
He's
with that,
a Ren. Okay.
he would have to. Based on the second one, they totally made him like he's got to be dark side. Like it was like there's no redemption for him. But I mean, Rise of the Skywalker. It could be that he comes back to maybe he sees the error of his ways, kind of like that. I don't know if they would go that direction, so I could totally see them going with a Finn.
Papa did.
The problem, I think the only problem with that is...
They confirmed Phasma's dead.
Is he...
Did they really?
Yeah.
That
is a waste of a character.
They did it. They did her wrong.
Is he redeemable? Is his character redeemable?
I mean, if you watch Game of Thrones, anybody's redeemable.
Well, first of all, they have a lot of incest in Game of Thrones. I don't even want to hear
What do you mean
about.
A lot? I mean,
like
they got to repopulate the Skywalkers, Aaron.
Disgusting.
Star Wars is incest too. If you think about it.
You've got a whole army of clone soldiers. You could repopulate the galaxy all you need with cloning, so it's fine.
Absolutely true.
But like he killed his dad. Like how do you sidle up next to Chewie after that?
My bad.
It's a lot saying that he killed himself too. That he helped him do it.
Stop it!
Get out of here.
Okay, here's the thing. For all you Star Wars, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but for all you Star Wars fans out there that dissect these things and try to come up with theories, they're wrong right off the bat. I have never seen a dissected one from the first trailer to the second trailer for the first trailer for the first movie.
So
second
you,
trailer
not a big fan, you go on and look for a whole bunch of things. That
I look a lot. I like lore for a whole bunch of things.
He's curious, cat.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
He's full of shit.
So anyway, but every time they dissect things, and we're like, oh, Rey's left-handed, so that clearly means that like no.
So if you look at the left and then stare at the stars,
like none of this stuff, they're not that deep. Put it that way. This is not Jordan Peele directing this to where you're getting layer on top of layer of insight and stuff like that. So you're getting everything at face value. What you see is what you get. You might get one twist, if anything, in there, but it's going to be as shallow as a Harry Potter film.
That's Mace Windu's son.
Nope,
what you're thinking?
It's this right here. Ready?
Lando Calrissian.
Jedi's gone. No more Jedi. Right?
Except for Rey.
No, it's not a Jedi. Because now, instead of Jedi, they're called Skywalkers.
Dang, boom.
There it is.
Right there.
Rise of the Skywalkers.
Jedi's
gone. The last of the Jedi happened.
Do you know why?
Because what
was the first? Sometimes. Oh, no, the second movie. So the second movie, I used to watch a lot of these like film theories and stuff like what was going on. And when I watched that first trailer.
Second movie, you're talking about?
Not the.
Movie 8?
Yes. I'm not going in.
Get it right.
Good Lord. Anyway, what was that one called?
Bunch of fucking nerds. The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
Yes.
And everybody was dissecting the crowd. What does that mean? Blah, blah, blah.
I was like, hated one, I think.
I was like, it's the most simplest thing. It's the two people that are new with this Force stuff, or well, not new technically, but the new characters that are, lightsaber wielding. They're just not going to follow the old ways anymore. That's literally all it means,
old
everybody.
Ways are dead, man.
Everybody was just dissecting all these different things. I was like, it makes the perfect sense. They know the history of Jedi and Sith and how all that crap didn't work. So then we're done with it. That's it. Everybody was just like, oh, no, this just means Rey is going to be like the last Jedi and all this. Like, I was like, it's simple. It's really simple, everybody.
We killed the Batman.
Yeah, exactly. This is why you have your meetings in the dark.
And then you have the rise of the Last Guardians.
Exactly. So
that movie
I don't
was
know.
Dope. I don't care what you say.
I think everybody overanalyzes the crap out of these trailers.
I would agree and disagree. I think some people overanalyze and miss the mark, and I think some people look at it and they hit it on the mark. So
well, I mean, I guess we'll have to.
Hey, Aaron, if you sit here, it could be Mace Windu's kid. You don't know. It could be Lawrence Fishburne's from The Matrix. You don't know. But
it's Lando Calrissian's kid. That's
Lando Calrissian
he
coming back, baby. We didn't even acknowledge that.
Exactly.
Now, what about the laugh?
Oh, that just sounded like Palpatine to me. I'm sorry.
That sounded like Mark Hamill getting turned to the dark side.
I did not for 1 second did I think it was Mark Hamill. I don't know where you get Mark Hamill from.
Because I hear Joker when I hear that laugh.
But
the animated.
Do you think there's anything to that, or do you think they just threw that in there?
Yes, Joker's in the movie.
No. Because he said Mark Hamill going to the dark side. It makes zero sense to me because
it doesn't. Yeah,
he turned into a ghostie as far as I'm concerned.
Which I don't know. Did he die of old age in that movie? What was
turned into a ghostie.
He did the same thing Yoda did in the.
Yoda was like 5,000 years old when he did that, though.
He was at the end of his.
So he just give up.
Do you know how much he had to use for him to project a whole, to project himself on a planet, whatever.
I don't know if that was
Luke
like
died.
Luke died, sir. Is this the first time you hear this?
No. I've watched the movie, but I don't remember it.
Stephen, hold my hand.
Stephen.
I regret to inform you.
Luke is dead.
How did he die? Because I don't remember. Honestly, God, I don't remember.
Asthma
Do you remember him and Ben were facing off?
Yes.
And Ben kind of just went, "Oh wait, you're just a projection. You're not an actual. You're not present."
Yes.
And then you go back to his real body, and he's fucking heaving and fucking coughing his lungs up, and then he just releases and he dissipates.
He went Kenobi's it.
He went out the same way as Ben did, and he went out the same way that
shit,
Yoda
I don't
did.
remember that.
Yeah, he was on the rock.
I had to watch it again now.
Stop with the Quaaludes, and we'll be...
Wow, too soon, Seth. Too soon.
I like that movie.
Just went to jail. So
I was going to make a joke, but it's too far. I'm not going to cross that line.
I was talking about Wolf on Wall Street.
I was talking about Cosby.
Yeah, you would.
Well, we can see we're talking about two different people. So, Star Wars, don't overanalyze it. The Rise of the Skywalkers will be out whenever they feel like it, I guess. They said December. So
it's going to be December, yeah.
And then coming out of the blue, with another streaming service that, wanted to say, hey, we're still in this. Hulu says that Veronica Mars reboot will debut on the 26th of July.
You even brought that up. Oh my god.
The fact, you know what?
We're still
best
here.
story of the night.
We're not spending 20 minutes
Best
on this.
story. No, we're bringing it back.
There is no Veronica Mars tangent.
I've never seen it.
On this.
Is it a show?
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
that
a
with,
reboot.
Is it? Oh, so no Kristen Bale?
I don't know.
Well, she's in a good place right now, so I mean, I wouldn't.
What do you mean she's in a
Dag Shepard's
Was she in a
lap
bad
or
place?
It was just a joke, man.
I was going to say, she
the
was
show
in a
is
bad
called A Good Place that she's in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, you were slow. You were fucking slow, bro. Oh, my
I was thinking
God.
she's in a
she
good
was
on
place
drugs. Now. She's in a good place right now.
Well, we could never know that, okay? Because we don't know her.
That's terrible. She's fine.
You're terrible. And you watch that show, which is crazy.
I do, yeah, and I love that show.
I hope people
love
got that
show. Nobody's getting that joke.
Everybody's going to get
I
it.
was getting that joke.
Write me on Twitter if you got the joke.
Oh,
At
my
Lunchbox 916. Two X's.
So, I mean, everything is basically just Disney news. Like, Simpsons even came out and they did a little short animation on it. Family Guy already has it inside one of their episodes, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
They have the snap from Thanos.
Yeah.
That was...
They have the
Thanos got the Mind Stone.
Did you see their Gig It T episode where they have Quagmire as it?
That's horrible. Was he in the sewer?
Gig It.
That's horrible.
They did a short. Genius.
That is still horrible. And, I mean, that was pretty much about it for, news that came out, people. I can't find anything else. So it was a good show. Thanks, everybody.
I think this is completely different from our...
No.
Are you sure we don't have 90 minutes of tangents going on here?
No, but we can go into another thing that I have prepared because, like I said, I always have.
There was at least 3 things.
I have backup upon backup upon backup upon backup. Well, before you go, because I can, like I said, we can go right into the history of something.
I'm ready.
All right.
Hit me with it.
So,
DJ, hit me.
I spent some time on this one. This was a long one. Giggity. That's what she said.
That's terrible.
Why did I come back?
But a while ago, I was telling Adam about a game called EverquestNext.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I was telling you how was supposed to be, in my opinion, the next thing. So we talk about old games, like the old school. The last episode we talked about Perfect Dark, all the crap that it does. That video games that it doesn't do now, like that video games don't do now. You can't there's not a lot of first person shooters where you can play against bots.
That's true. That's
right?
gone. That's
and
pretty much gone.
To the extent where you can customize the bots that you're playing against.
Unarmed karate punching.
Yeah,
bots.
those things are bastards.
Disarm the mess out of you.
We didn't talk about on that one. We also didn't talk about how whenever you get punched, your vision gets blurry as well.
That sucked so much.
Like that's realism.
And it
in
lasted
a 64
for 30
game.
minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, where am I? Where are you just spinning in circles?
So I shout from the heavens down to the pits of hell about this game when it got first announced.
I remember.
You made me excited about it.
I made a lot of people excited about it. So we'll start from the beginning, though. EverquestNext, everybody. It was planned as a massively multiplayer role-playing game meant to be the successor of EverQuest Online Adventures, which was like the PlayStation 2 one or something like that, which Pushan, our friend, actually played that thing, and EverQuest 2. So it was supposed to be like the successor, take all those ones. But it fell victim, of course, to roadblocks, which would ultimately cause it to stall out and just disappear
Totally forgot about it.
So now, of course, to understand EverquestNext and EverQuest itself, We have to start from the beginning of MMOs, everybody, of course.
In the beginning.
Yes. So, all the way back in 1996, everybody, you had these
Pokemon.
things called multi-user dungeons, MUDs. So, basically, it was just like...
Arcana?
basically like
Piece of
Arcana.
shit. Too soon. Too soon.
It was actually basically like that, but we
God.
could play over a dial-up connection with each other
God, why?
online.
I hear the AOL sound in my head right now.
You too, huh?
It was
Oh,
basically
God.
just a a series of dungeons that people could like go through and fight
Together.
weird
Were there
things.
dragons?
There may have been. I don't know.
Were there serpents and snakes?
The very first game that
Snakes
I mean,
and
it's very
sparklers?
debatable which was the very first MMO, but from the research that I did online, I saw that there was this game called Meridian 59, which was abbreviated to M59, but it was published by the company 3DO, which you've probably heard of before.
Oh yeah, Army Men.
Exactly.
That was legitness.
It had PvP, had PvE.
PCP?
I believe you were. It was pretty much.
Was it on DVD?
It was. Had
Can I
traditional.
download it to an MP3?
Wow. You guys got any more? Got any more? Any of this? All right.
C-3PO?
Terrible.
I was thinking that too. That's terrible.
Yes.
Continue.
You had
Sorry.
character levels, classes, like a traditional RPG, of course. But that didn't really see big time mainstream success, of course, because you guys probably had never even heard of that game. But in 1997, about a year later, you would see the formation of what they called an MMORPG.
Ooh.
So not just a multi-user dungeon. This was an MMORPG
Online.
with a game called Ultima
Online.
Online in December of 1998, actually.
Now, I've heard of I heard that name. Don't know much about that, but I know that was quote unquote one of the first.
I know that is a non-elemental magic spell in Final Fantasy.
Well, before all of that, it was an MMO that reached 100,000 subscribers with an
Ooh.
average of simultaneous players of 12,500 simultaneous players at the same time weekly. That means nothing, right? Because nowadays, you got to think about nowadays with like freaking.
I feel like there's more people playing poker on this one app.
Exactly, exactly. But they were ranking about like 20 hours a day for their thing, so that means they had no lives, 4 hours of sleep, and they would,
We
it was
are
like
a convict
forever.
people.
But you got to think about the genre starting off like that. This wasn't unheard of. You didn't play online in a big Dungeons and Dragons, type of set
You said
with
it.
multiple people, because I mean that's what they were all trying to copy.
Dungeons and Dragons is the
Cakes and pies. Cakes
Terrible.
and
Exact Daddy.
pies.
So that was the number one for a long time, Ultima Online. And then 1999, so 2 years or 1 year later, you have EverQuest, the original game from Sony Entertainment, and it quickly became a commercial success. It took what was Ultima Online, which was a small, like, sprite-looking thing, and gave you a fully fleshed out 3D environment type of world as everybody is used to now. So it took it from flat Mario type of graphics to I can walk around a full blown environment.
and this had to blow people away. I mean,
Oh yeah.
99, you're like, oh shit, open world, I could walk around and stuff.
Exactly.
3D character.
And I can play with you online, and I can see your character and what you've done and the progression and everything, and we can go on quests together.
So this is 99, correct?
1999, yes.
99. How long do you think it took people to be like, can I get this person naked? Because you know
12 minutes.
they tried. Somebody
the
was
first
trying.
person to log
Said
on.
somebody making their character. Just like,
Look
what?
Look at these
No
pixelated
boobs?
square boobs.
And so 1999, remember, you got games that are out like Final Fantasy 8, I believe it was.
Was that 99?
Yeah, because I think 97 was
10 came out
7.
in 2001, I think.
Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah.
You had Donkey Kong 64, Driver, the first one that came out, and everything like that.
Driver.
So all these were like single player games. Well, I mean, some of them multiplayer games, but none of them were online playing with other people and stuff like that. Like I said, it quickly became a success. Reviewers of EverQuest were mostly positive, earning an average around 85 out of 100 scores on Metacritic. The game boasted 12 playable races when you were creating your characters, such as humans, high elves, dark elves.
That's actually a lot.
It's a
considering, because like most games, you're like, it's like the basic like 5 or 6.
But 12 playable characters? Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, that's
In its first expansion, it also introduced more characters, the cat people and the lizard people as
Khajiit
well.
has wares.
They were called Vashir.
The Vashir.
The Vashir has
That is an
wares.
underwater continent in World of Warcraft, I believe.
The World of
It's
Warcraft
probably
really
an
probably stole a
homage
whole bunch of
to-
stuff from this.
Ultima.
You watch your mouth.
So EverQuest
Homage.
featured 14 playable classes upon release as well.
Jesus.
All right? I mean, come on now. Like,
That's-
How many does WoW have right now? Actually, they just
Classes?
added some
Yeah.
stuff.
What do they have, like 9 or
9 right now after all these expansions?
classes?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Demon Hunter,
Paladin,
Monk.
Rogue, Monk, Mage, Warrior. Oh god, Shaman, Druid, Death Knight. Oh Jesus.
Demon
Yeah,
Hunter?
that's about it, right?
Did you say Demon Hunter already?
Oh, Demon Hunter. Ha!
And look, you've already come to a stop.
That's 9.
That's 9, yeah. So, I mean, hey, that's after expansions, though. This
They
was
got
upon
sub
release.
races now.
This was upon release.
Do they have pandas, Aaron?
Probably, I don't
Bo-
know.
oh,
I didn't name. Does WoW have frog people? Because that was another one on there. Exactly.
Damn.
Orcs, trolls, halflings, dwarves, uridites. I don't know what that
You
is.
watch your mouth.
I don't know what that
man.
is.
Easy.
That's probably a slur somewhere.
yeah,
This is a post
it's probably in a
erudite.
token book.
Players
Racial
explored the
slur.
world though of Norath, which has been in
Now you're just making things up.
another. No, it's been actually other games now.
I've heard the name.
So
Norath,
you
but I
have
don't-
Champions of Norath that was on the PS2. Remember
Oh
that?
shit! Oh yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Because it spun off. Like this game spun off other.
I remember that
titles.
Champions of North. Yeah.
The game of that you played with EverQuest, which was the first one, it had over 500 zones. How many does WoW have?
This
Exactly.
is still all.
They have
This
not
is
once
this
been
is
like,
still no. This
look how many
is
zones we
EverQuest.
have.
This is the
Oh,
first
this is-
EverQuest.
Oh shit! Okay.
This
okay,
is
first
back in
EverQuest.
1999. Like this is how big this game was. I watched a video on this
I was 10. Aaron was 45.
when I was
That was when
actually
you fell in love. 'Cause
52,
That's a
so
weird.
I
So I
Okay,
think he was on
story.
the dev
Let's
group.
get the math
He
right.
was in the divs.
That was in 70. That was my 70s, mid 70s. I watched a documentary on this. Well, not a documentary, but it was a video on this to get you like in the mind state when I was researching all this stuff. And before they announced the new game, the EverquestNext, they wanted to hear people's stories. And this was like, way back in the day. And there was like a guy who was like, oh, I met my wife and now we have a kid, on this thing. There was a guy who was like, I used to play sports. I got injured, couldn't do anything. This game like pulled me out of that depression type of thing. Like just a whole bunch of different stories of how it was affecting people's lives in a positive way. So it had real world ramifications to the time that people were putting into this thing, which was weird because at the time, like I think at my age, I think I was only playing 64 mainly. Like I wasn't playing
That was your
online. Yeah, that was my
primary
primary
system.
thing. So I didn't know anything about this. The internet is just still kind of ramping up to being a household thing, I guess, for my neighborhood at least.
When did
Yeah, I
Pornhub
remember
start?
walking like, oh,
90s.
that'll never be a thing.
96.
The internet.
Pornhub?
Oh, Pornhub. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the
What do you
internet.
think I said? I said, what year did Pornhub? And before even finishing my sentence, he said, 96. That was
96.
1996.
there.
Yes.
I'll take
Yes.
He was
96 for 100, Alex.
One of the most popular zones in the games was the Plane of Knowledge. One of the few zones in which races in all classes coexisted. So
I think I was still on the Intellivision, I think, when this was all
that's
going
terrible.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez.
Playing
Get
Frog
upgrade.
like a savage.
But they had one of those things where it was PvP, but this was a place that they had the kind of like the we don't attack each other here.
Non-aggressive.
Exactly.
Aggression pact.
Oh, God, what do they call that?
A ceasefire.
Yeah, ceasefire. There you go. The game would go on to spawn multiple expansions, a unique PS2
Remember
game
the PS2
as well.
one? You had to get like an expansion bay.
Yeah,
to,
just
like,
to even play
run
this
it.
stupid
Yeah.
thing.
It's like a whole nother like hard drive or something on there.
It was definitely too much for
My expansion
the time.
pack on the N64.
But no, that was like one little thing
That's-
to click in. Yeah,
Yeah, this was like something
was like
you had
a
a hard
second
screw on,
PS2.
plug
you
in.
had a hard screw because I remember when we
Yeah,
had to
'cause it
trade
would
those things
attach to the
off.
back.
We had to hard screw them off. Yeah, and then you had
and
to
it
fill
like
with gas.
voided your warranty.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. There's children listening.
The game's popularity at its height saw, of course, many players logging on and giving it a nickname called Evercrack because of how many hours that they were logging on this freaking game all over the place.
Clever.
Yeah, it's 99, man.
It's 99.
We
yeah,
weren't trying that hard.
But of course, as things do not last forever. This massive MMORPG was overshadowed by the 2004 release of a little game called...
What was it called?
Dungeon Siege. No. World of Warcraft.
I was waiting for like Conan Exiles or something.
World of Warcraft came out, and it put
revolutionized
EverQuest's popularity in a massive decline.
With
in
their how many classes?
3.
All it took was warrior.
By 2005, the MMORPG market was flooded, though, because of the popularity of those two games. You had Guild Wars.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Dark Age of Camelot, which was a...
I remember hearing of that one.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of... Like, the market was flooded.
Everyone was trying to get on that money, man.
And because it's like, hey, we could charge you monthly to play our game.
It's genius.
There was a show on G4 called Portal that used to cover all the well, not all of them, but a majority of the MMOs. Yeah. And show kind of like what's the updates that's happening in this one, and and then they did little skits and stuff like that. It wasn't really one of my favorite shows.
Was it with the Sessler?
No, this was with... I don't even remember the guy's name.
I think this was before the Sessler.
But while WoW came out and had, for the time, graphical dominance over EverQuest.
Again, we're in 2004.
Exactly. Well, yeah, 2004. We're still
He's being mighty disrespectful right now.
Well, I mean, you got to think about the time. Players started leaving the servers, and they started leaving in massive droves. So much so that EverQuest had to start merging servers together to kind of, because you would probably have a server that used to have a lot of people. A lot of people started leaving. You just got a big empty space.
WoW eventually did the same thing too.
Really? Recently, or?
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where like you would be playing and all of a sudden you'd see someone, you'd see their name and the server they're from, all of a sudden chilling in your... Like, what the hell are you doing in here?
Wow.
Get out, you son of a bitch.
That's one sign of a decline of a video game, of course.
They went from 8 million to half that in a week.
So in 2012, EverQuest actually departed from the traditional monthly subscription business model and introducing a 3-tier commitment, quote unquote.
Now these bitches are asking me to marry them?
Yeah.
Damn.
And a completely free one for the bronze level, one-time fee for a silver level, and then, of course, you had the gold subscription fee or whatever.
WoW is free till level 20.
Oh, so this little history is kind of telling.
Well, yeah, it's completely different.
So all the signs of the MMO was on its way out. Not to say that the game wasn't successful for its time, but by 2004... the title's lifetime sales exceeded 3 million copies worldwide and reached an active subscriber peak of 550,000 people, like at one time, I guess. Like they would always.
That's still pretty good considering it's from 99, and then all the way to 2004.
I know they held it down.
They held it
people
down.
live in the past. It's fine.
Well, the attention, of course, moved to World of Warcraft. If Norath was to survive, everybody, they would have to come up with something pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
EverQuest 2 came out, everybody. Yada, yada, yada. And we moved forward to... Because EverQuest 2 really didn't
hold up against WoW.
Didn't move the needle. It didn't move the needle. So, I mean...
But did they bring any, like, game-changing ideas to it that got overshadowed?
It was just kind of like a graphical upgrade.
There was one game that made me think that I would stop playing WoW. There was an MMO, and that was the Star Wars. And my brother played that in the beta, and it just disappointed.
Which was that? Was that
Old Republic?
Was it
Old Republic?
Old Republic?
Did you brain fart real quick? Because I believe I said that.
Did you say it really?
Yes.
I was reading in the middle.
I said it like 4 times.
Why? Okay.
Old Republic.
I was reading.
Old Republic for 5,000.
Well, there you go.
I was hoping that they were going to take for the most part take what WoW did and just put the
Star Wars
kind of spin on it, and it was like the more evil you got, the fatter you like. All the Sith were just like
Star Wars was one of the victims, quote unquote, of the MMO rush. Like I talked about earlier.
Oh yeah,
jump on it
because they had Star Wars Galaxies. Remember that game?
Yeah.
And that game
had a little following though.
That had a dedicated following actually. Because I remember talking to customers about that, and there was like people that because they had the job system.
Yeah.
But like
never got into it.
You couldn't be or you could just be something as simple as a pot maker type of thing. And that probably wasn't in there, but it was just like they had that many different type of jobs. They had people that were musicians that they literally just played music.
Go to the cantina band.
Like it was.
I had my lightsaber on my side. Just
well, see, here's the thing too about that one, and we're like tangenting way off. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Welcome to Tangents, everybody.
In that game, originally before the big change, they made it to where it was very, very difficult to be a Jedi. In that game.
I remember that.
You had to go through a long quest chain to be a Jedi.
I remember talking to a customer about that, how he had to spend so many hours just to unlock a Jedi, and then you start back over just to play as one.
Yeah, like it was a long thing, but then when they did the redesign, it made it really easy. It was like, this is a class.
You never
now.
played Knights of the Old Republic, the 1 and 2?
Like the first few seconds.
So the first one you have to work for it. Like it takes a while, and it's like when you get it, it's so rewarding because the entire time you're using swords and blasters and stuff.
Yeah.
And in the second one, it's just like 10 minutes in, you're like, here you go. And
it takes something away from it. Yeah.
Oh shit. Like you can make a stronger one and all that stuff. But I could have the strongest sword in the game without having to get a lightsaber or whatever. But I don't know the time they had to put into it, but I know that's one thing that I liked having to work for. Plus, the story in 1 was way better than 2.
So back on track.
I played it.
In the middle of their decline, about 2009, the creators of EverQuest saw the writing on the wall. They're like, WoW was out. We can't compete with that. Like that's top notch right there.
Doing it right.
So a little glint of what was to come with EverquestNext came out in the 10th anniversary booklet, where there was like a chapter in there entitled EverquestNext. This was before it was even titled. Like they didn't have a name for the game, or they probably did but people didn't know. The
latest EverQuest
creative director Rich Waters wrote in the book, as we contemplate future EverQuest games, we have to ask, what does the modern MMO player really want from today's games? What will they want 4 years from now? Current MMOs are still designed traditionally as pen and paper game. Feel behind them with lots of charts and numbers, experience-based levels, and focus on auto attacks and dice roll combat. Which, as you know, I do not like that auto attack BS.
No.
But what will that mean for the next generation of MMOs? Will they strive to do something different or not? I'm paraphrasing it there because they won't.
That was Aaron's own words.
Waters will go on to say later in that same chapter that they're laying the foundations for what they call EverquestNext. So that gave players or fans of the original EverQuest something to hope for. Like,
a new hope.
A new hope. Yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
How long were you on the DC online bandwagon?
I maxed one character out and then stopped playing.
What was the downfall for you, or were you?
Nobody played with me. That's loneliness.
Why won't anyone play with me?
That's literally what it was.
Yeah, but you enjoyed the game.
I did enjoy the game.
Up. It was just
like everybody just couldn't link up at the same time. But like
work.
I really liked that battle system. I liked
making new characters.
Yeah, like
powers,
it was good to me. It's just
I played for 10 minutes at Carlos's, and then some dude was flying around just picking me off.
Well, see,
no, stop being a noob and get good, bruh.
I can't fly, bruh.
There was moments like with this, like, to get back to what he kind of said with the pen and paper feel of the D&D.
Did you watch Wild Wild West?
Yes.
Remember the desert with the scorpion? Who lost?
It was a tarantula for one.
Damn it.
So the auto attacks and all that type of stuff, like, to get back to, what's the future of MMOs, when I played that game, the DC universe, for the first time, and I saw it wasn't these auto attack things, and there was eye control, more of the button mashing beat 'em up type of things, that was one experience that I liked. I also liked running out, like, I had super speed. I made a quick character that had super speed, and then going out and seeing super villains everywhere as well, and knowing, like, okay, these are real threats in front of me. Because I remember as soon as I made a super speedster character, I ran out and I had 3 flyers after me. And I remember I just ran as fast as I could, which was, not really fast when you're starting off.
Run, Aaron,
But
run.
I was able to outrun them. And I remember running up a side of a skyscraper, and then I got to the top, and I was like, okay, I lost them. And then, like, out of a movie, they all just flew up around me. And I was like, this is crazy. But it was cool little moments like that, that I don't think you get with the auto attack. Like, they could have just locked onto me from the ground, went through the building, their attack, and hit me. I don't like that
laser
stuff.
beam just going through buildings.
Do you know what heat-seeking missiles are, Aaron?
I don't know what heat-seeking lasers are.
What doesn't Darkseid use those lasers that?
Omega beams? Well, then give me that animation where they move all around stuff and hit me. We're getting off track.
He just wants the animation.
We're getting off track here.
That would actually be dope if they did have that.
That would be
Omega
extremely
beam where
dope.
it bends around.
No, he'd still bitch about it. Like, I'm behind a tree, guys.
So from 2009, 3 years later, it would take Sony Online
Get to
Interactive
the damn
to release more information about EQN is the abbreviation. How dare you.
It's a lot of backstory.
Well, you got to know this stuff because
It's very important that
Are we
you
in
know.
2010 yet?
we are now.
So
We're
So when
actually
the
in
board game
2000
Simon was created.
We're in 2012.
Oh,
3 years after 2009. Yes, 2012.
It's 2019,
Day
just in
after
case.
So at a live event for Sony, John Smedley, the former president,
John Cena.
terrible, stated that EverquestNext had completely redeveloped. They scratched whatever they were originally going to do and decided to do this. Said what they're building is something that they're very proud of. It will be the largest sandbox-style MMO ever designed.
That's impressive.
They're remaking from
If they
scratch Norrath,
That was
unlike
impressive.
anything you've ever seen,
Possibly.
and you won't recognize it, of course. Smedley
Potentially.
also mentioned that EverquestNext will attempt to keep the free-to-play model as well. So they were going to make
2013.
2013.
Company bankrupts.
terrible.
All ideas out the window.
Terrible. So the next year at Sony Live, this is when I got introduced into it, and
This is when Aaron went from 6 to midnight.
exactly, like damn near
Oh god.
24-hour cycle.
Oh god.
That's,
It's called helicopter.
Yeah,
I
but-
guess.
yeah, we
That's-
get it. Yeah.
So this is when I literally
He's
actually, I think,
177 years old. He was grandfather clocking it.
Oh god.
terrible. This is when I think I literally first discovered this game because I watched a presentation with a guy named David Yorkson.
Is that your
That's the guy
man
I got
crush?
a picture with. Yes, that's the guy I got a picture with. So anyway, he comes out on stage.
it's RIP.
They do a whole bunch of stuff. People telling stories about their experience, and then he's like, we started. Well, we didn't start them. He's like, we popularized the MMO genre. Why wouldn't we be the one to evolve it? Right?
That was his.
That was his sentiment.
Okay.
Yeah. So he shows some content or some concepts over environments and stuff like that. But he's like, this is all just kind of cosmetic stuff. You want to see what this game is going to be about. This is what we're going to do. So he goes into the graphic design of it, which looks like kind of Pixar-y, cartoony or whatever. And he was like, we wanted the faces to have expressions. So we did a thing where we have the SOE emotes, which they called them at the time, Sony Online emotes, where your faces can be very expressive and stuff like that whenever you're emoting to people.
Smiles.
But
winks.
we're also going to integrate a thing where if you have a camera, it's just going to mimic your face. So if you want to say you're sad, then you just give a sad face to people. That's a terrible sad face.
That was pretty good.
So
I missed it.
it would have been the first game to do. It's terrible.
The fuck is that?
So it would have been the first game to do that. Camera facial recognition inside of a video game to use emotes for other characters as well. Then they talked about
It's
things.
pretty dope.
Then he talks about how it was going to be a free-flowing movement system where they showed the characters moving around and parkouring. Like if you went up to a ledge, it wouldn't be a...
Spells and parkour? Ooh.
Exactly.
Titillating, huh?
So he showed off 2 classes, which was like a lion-looking class and then a lady sorcerer or something like that. Just to use that example.
It's called a sorceress.
sorceress.
He said a lady, I don't know.
Sorceress Rex.
So After he goes through that, he's like, we're building this game on things we call the Holy Grails. Now, there are 4 Holy Grails?
Auction house.
No, terrible. Grail number 1 is changing the chord. So the games, all these games have been played like D&D for 35 years plus, right? To that point. Everybody's played D&D. You pick a class.
Haven't got out of the oily tankard yet, but yeah, I played it.
You pick a class, you kill stuff, you pick more abilities, skill tree, blah, blah, blah. EverquestNext wants to introduce the concept of multi-classing. I don't think that was introduced yet.
So I can be a paladin and a demon hunter? I don't know.
So when you start the game, you have 8 different classes to choose from. Each class has a few weapons to choose from and a few abilities that you would have had, of course. But as you progress and you go through the world, you're discovering new abilities, new classes, all the way up to 40 that you can mix and match all the way through.
To make your perfect
class. Now, mind you, this is back in 2013.
Yeah.
When did Skyrim come out?
That's a good question. No, Skyrim was way not... I think you mean Oblivion, maybe.
Well, the only reason I say Skyrim is because Skyrim was the one where you could have a sword and have magic in your one hand. Like you could
you do that in Oblivion too?
Whatever you use.
I don't remember in Oblivion. I don't remember.
I don't know if you could do that.
Being able to do it. I thought you just had to pick like swords, and I don't remember you being able to have magic in the same hand.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because that to me is the perfect blend of like
8 years and they're still putting on every damn thing.
Everything. Every damn thing.
Great game.
Have a Tamagotchi? Now download Skyrim.
That'd be terrible.
I would get it.
So
I would buy one.
So that was the basic thing. You mix max classes.
I like that. It's customizing your playstyle.
Exactly. And they even showed later on like how some of it worked with like these unique classes. So they had like a unique looking paladin that was doing his thing and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And they went into detail on some of the different classes that you can have, like the monk and warrior and stuff like that.
Now we're talking about the EverQuest
Next,
where you're breaking the landscapes and stuff, right?
So that's another one of the pillars.
Sorry, I'm
You're jumping ahead.
That's fine.
Spoiler McGee over here.
That's fine. That's fine.
Now I don't want to finish this podcast, Adam. Thank you.
Grail 2, Destructibility.
Han dies.
The world in EverquestNext was going to be created entirely out of voxels. If you don't know what voxels are, they're...
The Minecraft.
Think Minecraft.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Think Minecraft.
The blocks.
But instead of giant blocks, really tiny blocks. So everything is destructible.
Caucasian blocks.
Most likely they would have made something not destructible because you kind of need it there, I guess, for the storytelling purposes.
There would be, what is that, bedrock or whatever?
Yeah, maybe
somewhere
something like
in the game.
Yeah, but...
What was that called in Castle Miner Z? What was that stuff you couldn't...
It's just bedrock.
Bedrock.
It's just bedrock.
You couldn't break
man.
through. Was it? It was
at the
top of that
bedrock.
castle that was made out of it.
Yeah.
So it's bedrock.
I'm talking about the stuff in hell.
It was just bedrock.
Yeah.
It was hailstone or something.
So basically, what they wanted to do is like you can come up on a scene and see a whole bunch of things destroyed, and you could tell that there was a fight there, how it went, where did it go, like.
So now you're investigating.
Exactly.
So now you got EverQuest CSI.
Fights also change depending on how the terrain, how the terrain destroys while you're fighting. So maybe you had the higher ground at one point, and he just blew up that higher ground. So now you guys are even on the same level.
So now you got lower ground.
So now it's adding more gameplay in it because not just visuals but tactics as well.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic of the fighting
Exactly.
a lot. If the terrain changes.
Grail number 3, a life of consequences, is what they were going for. So as you play the game, you'll be making decisions, and decisions you make will have real consequences.
Ogres.
Quests, NPCs all react to what you have done. So think about this one. Okay, we'll skip a little forward just so I can, just for the sake of this actual grail, quote unquote. But they have a thing where all the AI in the system all the enemy AI in there are just created for wants and desires. Then they just release them into the field. So they use an ogre as an example. And it's a thing where they need food, shelter, money, type of stuff like that. They like to.
Those are the basic instincts.
Yeah, there's their
Food,
basic instinct.
Eat something.
Sharon Stone.
Yes, they cross their legs back and forth.
And the player was aroused.
So
if
they're getting what they need from this area, you're in zone 1, whatever,
Yeah.
and they're getting
Why
what they
leave?
need. Then why leave? Exactly. But if players start moving over there, doing quests that attack them or start attacking
Defeat
them
10
more,
ogres.
they're going to leave. So you can potentially go on a server where you may expect ogres to be there, but they're not going to be there because everybody on that server has been doing crap to push them out. But that wouldn't have just been the only thing, because what you did is push out the ogres. Well, that left
Who's coming
room. Exactly. That left a void for something. So there's consequences to whatever
Now
you
there's
do.
fucking goblins.
Exactly. So a world that's fluid and not scripted, as opposed to
Ever changing.
You
Yeah.
always know where the damn tigers are and wow.
Exactly. There's never going to be
We
a
go to the forest hunting boars, Stephen.
I was just thinking of Stranglethorn and the damn gorillas and tigers.
They did do their cataclysm where they changed everything though.
Yeah, but that took an expansion.
Yeah, it took a full-on expansion, though. Yeah.
This is right off the
EverquestNext
bat.
out, Aaron?
Wow.
You son of a bitch.
Too soon.
That hit him hard.
Too soon.
But then the expansion came out though, right? I think I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Terrible. Terrible.
It's okay, Aaron, don't
So
cry.
Grail number 4, permanent change. You actually play the game, and again, going back to the decisions that you make have consequences. They actually can result in permanent changes. The example that they gave was maybe you run up on a small settlement of a couple of people that have, they're like, we like this land. We want to make, a little camp here. So you do quests. They're giving you live quests. Now these quests will start evolving by more players doing them, right? So if nobody does the quests that these people are giving to you,
No advancement.
no advancement in that. But say everybody on the server just decides we want to do every quest that happens here. So after a while, you get that little settlement that turns into a little camp. You keep doing quests there. That little camp turns into a small town.
And you kind of seen that a little bit in like Red Dead Redemption with I forget what town it is, but they're like asking for money, and it's like a woman in a church, or she's trying to build something, and you give them money, and then
You're
there's
thinking
more and more you
Maverick.
go. No, this is Red Dead.
Thank the stars, man.
The more-
Saint Maverick.
It's in my wedding dress.
The more money like I gave them or whatever later on, they were building the damn
You're
thing.
taking one?
Really?
And then
You're
I
taking
kept-
one or two?
No,
No, he's on
this is
part
2.
2. See, he did a lot of the side quests up
I
there.
still haven't beat that game. I've been running
I'm
around.
63%.
I'm at 100%.
It's a
I've done.
full blown like house now in my game, like a big building that on the side of it.
Well, that's the
will
idea,
say,
because it's
like,
probably
this is
there's nothing in my game.
And
Arthur Morgan donated money.
where's it over by?
Uh,
Like in relation to
was is it
strawberry?
Valentine? That
No.
main city?
Yeah, it's not. I don't have anything like that.
Yeah, right next to the stables. There's a house that they were building, and they asked for money.
Yeah, see,
And as you
none
progress,
of that crap.
they built.
So
I remember helping the guys
but-
in the trees, cutting the trees.
But
down
did
and
you
stuff.
find Gavin?
Gavin? Has anyone seen my mate Gavin?
So to go back to how it ties in as well, you have, like I said, if everybody did the quest there, big city pops up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, life of consequences. If a big city pops up there, what did you get rid of to make that?
Got it.
So they showed an example of, okay, you made this big town. That's cool, but you impeded on the forest that had these goblins or whatever, right? Because you wanted to expand this village or
So they
whatever.
rebel.
So they attack. Yes. So now you've created more quests to either get rid of the goblins, because you could leave it alone as well.
Join
Then
the goblins.
Then they've sacked the
Oh,
city
goblins.
and they take it down. But it's a life of choices and consequences. All this was supposed to be
Cause
in
and
this,
effect.
yeah, in this MMO type of thing. Like
It's very ambitious.
And then Disney came along.
another thing was like they showed where it's like, because you're mining as well. Like you need to. It's like
I didn't know they had that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's fully destructible. And
Mine the ore.
the world would have been on levels, or like tiers. Excuse me, not levels, but tiers, to where you can go deeper to the core of the planet and stuff like that. And mining was essentially a part of it.
Yeah, I never once thought
So if you start mining and you happen to hit on somebody's home or something like that,
the Balrog.
exactly. Now you've created
You've
a new
awoken.
quest or something. Yeah.
You've awakened the beast.
So Life of Consequences was going to be like a big core part of this type of thing, you know? So all these things made it sound like this game was amazing, right?
I feel like they were leading up to a what's that goddamn game? I always forget the name of it. The space one.
No
Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky. I
You
feel like
son
they're
of a
like, it's
mother.
gonna do this, and
Well-
it's gonna, and you'll never see anybody.
What went wrong? Now we're on to the what actually went wrong with this game. So in February 2015, Sony Online Entertainment was sold to a company called Columbus Nova, then renamed themselves to Daybreak. But then about a week later, Daybreak let go of a huge chunk of employees that were working on EverquestNext, including my man, Dave Jorson.
Oh, Aaron's love.
Yeah, I have pictures. Me and him.
Endless
Me and him.
love.
Have you donated to his Kickstarter yet, or
Last time I saw of him, he literally was traveling the country or the world with his daughter.
with his little knapsack? Okay.
No, with his daughter. So they
In
made
a
His
knapsack.
His little stick and
His
knapsack.
daughter was in the knapsack.
a report came out that about 140 people were laid off.
Oof.
And according to their LinkedIn page for
What
Daybreak,
the hell is that?
only about 200 to 500 employees were actually active there. So they took 140 people from
Oh.
max 500 people.
Well, but possibly from 200.
Yeah, but possibly so they just left 60 people
60
walking
people
around.
just to be like, what the hell am I doing?
Like, does Tom still work here? No. Oh, well. So, but no actual information.
Kevin!
oh my Gavin.
No actual information was given about where they were fired from. So, what project they were working
Well,
on?
I'm
Because
excited.
when Daybreak did it, they still had that zombie game.
The one we played on.
It was on the PlayStation. Because when I went there,
Oh, shit.
so Sony Online had. Oh my gosh, and I'm
Is it
blanking.
DayZ?
It was a DayZ
No,
type
it
of
was
game.
H1Z1.
H1Z1.
That's what it was.
So they had H1Z1, they had EverquestNext, and they had that MMO that was a first-person shooter. That PlanetSide.
Oh, okay.
PlanetSide 2. That's what
I wouldn't have
Sony.
got
That was when I went to E3 to play their games. That were their three big ones that they were pushing. That's what Sony was. So when Daybreak bought them, that's what they had.
They were still pushing
They were
EverquestNext at that
yes. Well, Daybreak was at first when they bought.
point? This was post the firing of 140 people? Or this-
yes,
Really?
They were still trying to push it, but nobody knew who.
I'm
like,
excited to see where the story's going to go.
like where they were working. They were just all gone. So like I said, they got rid of the guy David Yorkson. That was the guy that I felt like was just he knew where everything was supposed to go. So once they got rid of him, I felt like, damn, like
Lost
where's this
sight.
gonna go? Yeah. With morale probably very low in the company, March 2016 they announced that EverquestNext would be canceled. And
this had to devastate you.
this had
Just
well,
based off the
I
research.
think I got a phone call that day, to be honest with
so
you.
here's the thing though.
Dad, they canceled
Terrible.
the game.
They released a game. They released a game side by side with EverquestNext called Landmark. So Landmark was supposed to be this thing like
That was the release, right?
it was supposed
Just
to like
kinda
give you warmed up to
like,
it.
this is the land. Check it out.
You
I
could,
remember.
what it was I can't remember that Tom Cruise movie where they had to rush out to the field and plant their flags to get the land. But it sounds familiar, doesn't it? So basically,
Tom
what it
Cruise
was Landmark
Far and away.
was a way for people to play with the tools that the developers were using to create EverquestNext.
to get used to the actual.
The basic engine of the game of like digging and stuff.
Exactly.
Building cities.
You would go out there, you would plant your flag in a zone that was
I claim this
unclaimed,
area.
and then you would create stuff with the same tools that the developers were. They were also doing things where we want to build a dark elf society. We have this type of look in
Racist.
mind.
That's some Hitler stuff there.
Can you help us? They were working in tandem with people that are playing the game, so you could design a village that would potentially be in the actual game.
Got it.
So Landmark was given to the masses. They started charging like weird prices for it and stuff like that. Because I remember when I went there, I got a free copy of Landmark.
Did you even get to play it?
I did. It was not good. it was not good. It was
rough.
It was very, very rough.
Around the edges.
They kept trying to keep Landmark alive, even though the cancellation of EverQuest was official. By 2017, it was no more. And that's crazy, right? Because that's, what, 2 years ago?
So
that they actually just now...
So Daybreak.
I'm still waiting for you to say that they're working on it again. I don't know where the story's going.
No.
There are no happy endings.
This is just one giant tangent?
Yeah, it was one giant thing. So
one giant
there's
rant.
speculation that EverQuest Next...
WoW.
There was a speculation that EverQuest Next was never even a game. That developers only created Landmark...
Like Enron.
Terrible.
Oh.
It was the Enron of video games.
One of the speculations is that they just created the game Landmark and then try to tie in EverQuest onto it, like add a skin onto this game to sell.
We're selling you an idea.
Exactly.
It's the Jabberwocky theory.
It's the Jabberwocky.
You don't know what
thing.
it is, but it's around supposedly.
Yeah, the game Landmark tried something very ambitious, and they just tried to put a mask over it of people what people were familiar and used to, and that's just one of the theories that it never was actually a game. They built this game Landmark.
I could see that.
And then try to put a cover over it.
I haven't seen shit.
For whatever reasons,
You never
though,
will.
lack of resources, conspiracy theories, or the game just wasn't fun, according to Daybreak, is why they said they canceled.
This
because the
just
game
in
wasn't
next
fun.
week, World of Warcraft.
EverQuest Next faded into obscurity and never got its chance to revolutionize the MMORPG landscape.
Welcome to all the Star Wars games that get shut down.
And that is the conclusion of EverQuest Next, everybody. That's where it died.
Tell your parents.
This is Peter Molyneux's fault. I feel it.
But see,
I feel it.
It's a thing where we get these games, and it's kind of the first time that I
Jizzed yourself when you saw a game?
Terrible. No, that I became...
Just saw
EverQuest
first
Next
time.
and I jizzed in my pants.
So this was probably the first time that I got this kind of jaded feeling of I'm getting hyped for not proof yet, I would say, right?
Right.
Like, I see concept over there. You're telling me all these good things.
So you wait till release day now. You don't trust
So, yeah, and I used to all the time, everybody be like, you just hate games now. You're just jaded on games and stuff like that.
It's true. I still say that to him.
And I'm like, there's a pattern here, people. Like, it's just a whole bunch of hype and then nothing.
That's why
There we go.
That's why everyone's like, oh, you don't know this game's coming out? You don't know this game's coming out? I never put not for your reasoning, but I never put too much stock because for the games that I have cared about in the past, it's like, oh, they're coming out with this kind of game? Cool. I'm not going to look into it. I'm not going to learn more about it because I'm going to put all my stock into it and it's going to come out and be terrible or it's not going to come out at all. So I'm the first one who's playing I'm over here playing Final Fantasy X and Dark Cloud from PlayStation 2.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Yeah, I mean,
You said that, and all I could think of was that scene in Zoolander when he's talking about Sting, and it's like, oh yeah, I respect him. Never listened to any of his music, but I respect that
he's doing it.
That's the whole thing you just said. Reminded me of that.
Because I play new games. When they come out, I say, you know what? That looks like that game is released. It looks like a good game. Let me go play it. Or I played this, the older version of it, or whatever. I'm gonna go play this game. But I'm not the one who's online looking up all these games. What's gonna come out? What doesn't come out? And all that stuff.
That's definitely
because then
me.
I'm getting.
But see, no,
I know.
I figured out how to draw back that excitement because, and I was like, we could probably do a whole another show on the signs you should be looking for to
10
temper
things
that.
he hates about you.
Well, it's like you can temper
I don't know,
that.
man, because like letdowns we've had in the past. We had Brink, great potential with that game, great like concepts. Game came out, shit. Mass Effect Andromeda. We were big hopes for that one. Looked good at comes out, shit. You know what I mean? So it's like
look, I literally just all I did was typed in Google real quick hyped games that failed. Brink is already on there.
Yep.
No Man's Sky.
Yep.
Brute Force, which was an old game on the Xbox, which was supposed to be.
That was on the
it was
PlayStation
supposed
2
to
as
be
well.
it was the Xbox exclusive because it was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Well, that's the one with the like looks like a lizard,
alligator
yeah,
guy.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The Order 1886.
Oh yeah.
That was like graphically crazy impressive.
Looked amazing. Only had like 3 hours of gameplay
Yeah,
or some bullshit.
Exactly. So like, there's things you can see. Like, there's signs you can really see. And I've been a gamer for long enough. I've worked in the freaking game,
the industry,
game
selling.
I've sold games. Of course, I study the games. I've written for game publications.
Aaron was there
and
when
stuff
Solitaire
like that.
was made.
I believe it.
There's things you can watch and you can see patterns in these games where you can be like, that's been done before. You know how that's going to feel when you play it. Like, you know what that's going to be like. That's probably something I'm not going to put my time into. But you still have a lot of people that are just being like, I'm just going to buy it because I like how it looks. I like the hype. Like, I say it all the time. I fall victim to it with FIFA. But I think that's a different thing. I know what I'm getting into. I can't get hyped off of something new. Like, what's the biggest one that's coming out now that has a big hype around it? Like, can you even think of one that has something like that? Like, there's what's the Norman Reedus game?
Oh, shit.
With Hideo Kojima at the lead.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
didn't he just go? He just went to the.
So that
for the first time?
That game has a little buzz around it, but only because Hideo Kojima
It's true.
is at the lead of that one. But when they showed you gameplay, there's no way you can
Death
tell
Stranding,
me
is it?
Death
Death
Stranding. Thank you. There's
Damn it.
no way you can see that gameplay, and we'll watch. Well, I'll show you after the show, Adam, if you've never seen it. There's no way you can look at that gameplay and be like, "That's what I want. That's the next thing." Like, that's gonna be like, no. Look at the guy's track record. He made the Metal Gear Solid games, which were decent at best. Steve.
How the fuck dare you?
Decent at best.
just-
You
Aaron's
piece of
face as he
shit.
said that was, I know I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill.
I knew.
You know, EverquestNext bullshit game anyway. Bullshit game anyway.
They were
How fucking
Never
dare
played
you?
them.
they were decent.
You
Stealth
tell that to the
games.
damn scores.
I played it for 9 minutes and I couldn't get over a box.
Decent stealth games.
Games are the
And
best.
even more decent movies, because that's what they basically were, all the damn
and they were
cutscenes.
great movies.
Exactly. There were so many damn cutscenes. So I think the drama with him being fired or let go from Konami, right?
Yeah.
I think drama with that mixed with the hype for another Kojima game is building it on Death Stranding. And then the mixture of Norman Reedus being in it and Mads Mikkelsen, right? He's in it.
Yeah.
Like actors that are,
Nice.
He can do
Guillermo
no-
del Toro is in it, right?
No,
Is in it?
I don't know if he's in
I thought
it
he
or
was
part of
a
it.
character in it.
No, he was part of the PT thing
yeah,
when
now
that was
you're
supposed to
talking
be
about that.
Silent Hills.
But see, like, I know hype is too easy to fall into. Like, it's really, really easy to fall into when there's so many signs where you could tell if a game is going to be at least decent. So I don't do it anymore. Like, I have to see gameplay. I can't get hyped off of a trailer that's all CG. I got to see gameplay,
Honestly, it's always been about gameplay for me.
and I got to see what's in the actual gameplay as well. So that's where I sit on that. I said all that EverQuest crap just to say all that, everybody.
Tangents number 32.
But anyway, we've gone
47 minutes long.
We're about
That's a good.
So
it's
back
like
to
two
Disney
shows.
Plus.
Yeah, it was like two shows right there. Anyway, so what do we got going on? We got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen at the end of the month, everybody. It's
On
the
the-
April 29th
At
Right.
6:30
Yeah.
p.m.
at 6:30 p.m. That's right. It's a Marvel Cinematic Universe themed one.
Yeah, so please come out to that.
Please go to Facebook and register,
and
because that's what we're taking.
register teams.
We're only
Yeah.
taking online.
Please,
We're only taking
yeah.
online because the last trivia game that they had, apparently the house was packed, but they had a lot of walk-ins, so we can only fill in what we can get online. So if you're listening and you are interested in Sacramento area, Oblivion Comics and Coffee, go to their Facebook page events.
You guys in Australia still have time?
Yeah, shout out to the Australia people. What's happening,
Oh
guys?
shit, we got Australians.
We got two Aussies in the house.
Oh,
You
Would you
still-
like to hear a bit of my Aussie?
That's
Oh, that now we lost them.
the Southern
we've
Aussie.
lost
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Those are Aborigines there.
2 weeks.
Southern Aussie.
2 weeks to make it out.
So good day, Shorty.
Crikey.
Good day, Shorty.
That's
I would've-
that's
I would have unsubscribed immediately.
I would file for a hate crime that you just committed.
You can either go to Oblivion Comics and Coffee's Facebook page or ours as well, right? Because we have the joint
Yes, we
co-host
do.
thing. You can go and sign up there. We got some good prizes that I will tell you later.
I can tell you.
about.
The look on his face was, I have no idea.
You opened your mouth, and now I have to live up to
Because
that.
literally, so
I don't
little
even know what to
little behind the scenes for the little sneak peek for the listeners. We were originally going to do kind of like a couple of events to lead up to it, right?
Yes.
And when Laura asked me about this, Laura's the owner of Palladium Commons Coffee, some of the greatest coffee that you'll get. Also serves beer and pastries.
Yeah, newly. Yeah, they just started selling beer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Why have I not been told
Yes.
this?
Well, you just got
You
told
just
right
got
now.
told.
Laura, what kind of IPAs do we have on tap there?
I don't know. There's like four
I don't
different.
know.
They have four different.
It's vegan?
No, it's not.
No, I don't know.
That's terrible.
It's not.
But
Hell is that?
It's good stuff. They're not our sponsors, but it's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
So
Definitely support it.
Beer water.
so
Taste it.
we were gonna do some events, right? And when she approached me, she was like, "You want to do like multiple ones leading up to the big one, just so we gauge how many people?" I was like, "We could do each night as a Infinity Stone, and then
Ooh,
the
that would be
winners
good.
of each night
Each one
come
go to
back for
the-
Tournament of Champions, and they get the gauntlet at the end." I think that would be kind of cool, but we don't have enough time to do that, so we're just gonna do one night only. Everybody,
Oh,
Said
shit.
that would have been a cool idea.
That would've
You
been
got a
cool.
sneak peek, but it's not happening.
sorry everybody.
Rewind
That's
30
not
seconds
happening.
and then skip.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the show, you can hit us up, of course, on our Facebook page before you log off, Twitter before you log off, Instagram before log
Thanks, hackers.
off.
Why don't you guys just make a claim? We could have got it back, you lazy bastards.
We might still do that.
I think we got one comment on there once.
It doesn't matter. We posted like one picture.
That's all I need.
On YouTube at Bilo Network.
YouTube, Bilo Network. You can listen to the shows, of course, there. And if we ever get a chance to do some more Let's Plays, we'll do some more Let's Plays.
More
everybody.
Arcana, Adam?
Yeah, you up for that? Re-up on
We'll
that?
slap you all in the face. Hey, by the
We
way,
gotta- we
I'm,
gotta start streaming some
I'm
more.
changing my hashtag. Aaron made me a pretty sweet name. that
Oh, good lord.
That I wanted to
Better than Steam Jesus?
commit. Just no idea where that came from.
Steve Jesus is good.
Steam Jesus is
I
good.
told him my Gmail, and my middle name's P, and my last name is C. So Adam PC, and he's like, "Oh, PC like computer," and I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
You never thought of that.
Not one time.
10 years.
Why is he on the show?
Exactly, I don't know.
Jesus.
At PC, what? Genius.
So
the man is on his
I don't
computer,
understand.
sitting in a chair
Yeah,
on his
one time.
computer all
I'm
day.
very
Makes no
defensive
sense.
about my name, and not once have I ever put that together.
and we got to start streaming something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to start streaming. We got to start doing that when
I got
we
sweet ass internet now.
team up
I'm
with
all moved in.
Girls Without Game and Emma Sky.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll definitely do that. We got it's like a lot of other different
And
shows coming
I'd love
out.
a Borderlands night, to be honest.
Most
with you.
likely,
God, I'm on that kick right now.
we'll try to
need
finagle
it.
some type of recap shows. Like me and Emma, we do the recap for
Cloak and Dagger.
and Dagger, which
Didn't
is
even invite.
well, it's kind of right on the nose with a black guy and a white girl type of thing. So
There's other characters. There's supporting casts. Rude.
Perfect Dark.
When all this Disney Plus stuff comes out, I don't see us not doing Marvel recaps of that stuff too. So
That's true.
look out for
It's
future
gonna happen.
projects,
It's
everybody.
gonna happen.
But we gotta wrap it up. We're freaking 122 minutes into this bad boy.
Hey,
So-
This is our Game of Thrones episode.
That's terrible. We didn't even touch Game of Thrones. It's
Sure
crazy.
didn't. That was pregame.
That
this
was
is the
terrible.
longest post-tangent show we've ever.
That is true. Yeah, we're about 30 minutes into the post tangent.
Oh, God.
So let's wrap it up here, everybody. So for Adam C
Hey!
or Adam PC,
Hey, oh, you piece of shit. We're using that.
Adam piece
We're
of
using
shit.
that.
Adam piece of shit is
Piece of
is what- Adam piece of shit. Hashtag
Cut it.
Adam piece of shit nickname.
Cut it out.
Steven Gutierrez.
What up?
Hi.
Or goodbye.
Jeez, we started this all over.
We're doing
Kicking it
part
right
2.
Back to back episodes. You'll never log off.
I am Sir Aaron Carter saying that is enough internet for today.